Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And for this video I'm going to be doing a request from Kurt, aka Horror Collectible Guy. I'll be leaving his channel link in the description box below. Please check him out, one of my good friends on here. He was after some recommendations for horror titles. He wanted to know more of the cult titles. So, you know, I've been thinking of how I'm going to approach this video. I'm just going to have the camera zip around my room, pan over my collection, and I'm just going to talk about titles or say the name, pull them out. I'm not going to have too much time to talk about each of the movies, but pretty much Kurt, or to anyone else that's watching this video, any title that I pull out and mention is well worth checking out. So obviously if it's something you've never heard of, just look it up, read some reviews, see if it sounds good, and yeah, check out IMDb. But every movie that I mention I give my strongest recommendation for. So yeah, let's get started. So we'll start with the slashers, because Kurt, you said you were getting into them. So we have A Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, which I'm sure you know about. Candyman, this is a really good urban slasher from the 90s. Child's Play, great killer doll movie. I do classify it as a slasher. If you don't own this one, Kurt, or you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. The Friday the 13th series, of course. My Bloody Valentine, awesome 80s slasher. Then we have Psycho, which is an absolute must, absolute classic, and it looks amazing on Blu-ray. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, highly recommend it, absolutely love it. The Mutilator, this one's really cheesy, but you did enjoy Evil Laughs, so I recommend this one. It is rather hard to come by though, but if you can track down a copy, I recommend it. The Orphan Killer. What else do we have here? Satan's Little Helper. This is a really good modern slasher. Really cheesy. Shredder is another good modern one. Again, really cheesy. You can pick this one up for pretty cheap, so I recommend it. The Sleeper. This is a great modern slasher, great throwback movie. It came out this year. Definitely recommend it. Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Slaughter High are good ones, but you've picked those two up. Then we have Terror Train, which is an underrated Jamie Lee Curtis movie. Really good. The Tripper. This one here, Venom, is really underrated, and I really enjoyed it. More of a sort of voodoo / supernatural slasher, but it's really good. This one is one that I never really hear too many people talk about, and I don't know why. Mad Men, really good. You may have trouble tracking this DVD down. I think it's out of print, but if you can track down a copy of this, I highly recommend it. Intruder, brilliant slasher, absolutely love it. It's just had a Blu-ray release with awesome cover art. Hills Run Red, the two Hatchet movies. Wes Craven's Deadly Blessing. This one is really underrated. Brilliant movie. Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3 are must-owns as well. Chopping Mall, must-own. Going to Pieces. This is a documentary on the slasher genre. American Gothic, really good. The original April Fool's Day. And this is pretty much essential for any slasher collection, The Burning. Alright, moving on to some that I own on Blu-ray. We have 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. An American Werewolf in London. The Children, this one is really creepy. Children of the Corn. Poltergeist. The Reef, which is pretty much the best shark movie since Jaws. This is filmed in Australia and it is fantastic. Return of the Living Dead. The Saw series. Shaun of the Dead, this one is a ton of fun. Trick or Treat, really good horror anthology. Suspiria, not sure if this will be your cup of tea, but it is really good. Italian horror movie. The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's version, classic. Then down here we have Wolf Creek, which is a Australian horror movie, really good. Zombieland. Then up here we have the Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, the two George A. Romero movies. They're musts. Then the Dawn of the Dead remake was really good. This one, The Dead, is a great modern zombie movie. Dead Silence, very good. If you're looking for an Italian giallo, get Deep Red, my personal favourite. The Descent, I think you'd really like this one, Kurt. And to anyone else that's watching that's really into really good modern horror, this is a modern classic. Eden Lake, a fantastic British horror movie. I highly recommend Eden Lake. Event Horizon. I know you're not too big into your sci-fi, Kurt, but this one's really good, really creepy. Evil Dead 1 and 2, The Exorcist. Not a massive fan of this movie, but it is a classic. David Cronenberg's The Fly, brilliant movie. The Frighteners. Then we have Gremlins, which is a classic. Hills Have Eyes remake, one of my favourite remakes. The House of the Devil, this is an absolute must own. Brilliant movie. The Hole, had a lot of fun with this one. Pandorum, another sci-fi movie, but this one is probably one of my all-time favourite sci-fis, next to The Thing and Alien. Absolutely loved it. Great atmosphere. Then Let the Right One In and the remake Let Me In are two really good vampire movies. The Lost Boys, The Mist, great modern creature feature. The Monster Squad, this is an absolute must own if you are wanting to get into the Universal Monsters. I would highly recommend picking this one up, Kurt. The original George A. Romero Night of the Living Dead. And Orphan. Alright, moving on to this shelf. Just DVDs. We have Bad Taste. Great splatter comedy. Really good, gory, fun time. The Blob. This is a remake to the 50s movie. I think it was the 50s that the original came out. This one is the 80s remake. I love everything about this movie. This is an absolute must own. Brain Scan, really good underrated horror movie from the 90s. The Changeling, this is probably my favourite haunted house movie with George C. Scott. Absolutely brilliant. Creepshow. Dance of the Dead. This one's really underrated. If you like Shaun of the Dead, this is pretty much the teenage equivalent. And this is a recent pickup. I haven't put it away yet. The Deadly Spawn. This is a true cult classic, and I'd highly recommend checking this one out, Kurt. I absolutely loved it. Alright, next we have Dolls, Drag Me to Hell, the Frankenstein movies, they're classics. The Gate, I've mentioned this one a lot before, absolute must. The Good Son, this is more psychological, but it is really, really good. The Hitcher, another psychological one. This is the original from the 80s with Rutger Hauer. Brilliant movie, love it. Jaws, classic, but I'm sure you already know about this one. And it's getting a Blu-ray release this year, so probably hold out for that if you don't already own the movie. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another great 80s one. Really cheesy. Night of the Comet. The original Night of the Demons, love it. And the remake of Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. Actually prefer this a lot more to the original George A. Romero version, and I love the look of the zombies in this one. Alright, next shelf we have Reanimator, really, really good. The Scream series, which you already know about. The Sleepaway Camp movies are really, really good, cheesy, fun slasher movies. Definitely recommend them. Oh yeah, can't forget this. Halloween franchise, we all know and hopefully we all love it. Okay, over here we have Pet Sematary. The Ring, enjoyed that one. Then we have Silver Bullet. This one is really, really good. Great werewolf movie. Down here we've got The Willies. Great horror anthology. And the last one from the shelf I'm going to mention is The Wolfman. My favourite Universal monster, and this is a great movie. Holds up absolutely magnificently. Great storyline and great atmosphere. Okay, now we're going to go over to my last shelf because there's some other titles that I want to talk about as well. We have Tales from the Dark Side, one of my favourite horror anthologies. People Under the Stairs, another really underrated Wes Craven movie from the 90s. Hellraiser, which I'm sure you know about. And yeah, that is about it. So Kurt, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, any of the titles that I've talked about I highly recommend. I mean, there's a ton of other great movies that I've obviously skipped over, but they're just some that I would definitely recommend checking out. And another idea, if you're after recommendations, I highly recommend checking out DVD updates. That's a really good way of checking out titles, or just talk to other YouTubers. Get some recommendations off them. Look up the Amazon favorite lists, or Amazon searches. That's another really good one. And I definitely recommend looking up some of your favorite directors. That's a great way to come across some of the other movies they've done, especially the more underrated movies that certain directors have done. So that's another great way of coming across some titles. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, Kurt, and of course everyone else that's been watching it. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to Kurt, I'll be leaving his channel link in the description box below. Please check him out, and that is all. Goodbye.